school, we would make plans to go do something fun, and she'd be in bed. She got pneumonia every Christmas break. She was in bed for all of Christmas break. And when I was young, I didn't know that it was probably something much larger than just being tired. But as I got older and she got worse, I convinced her to go to the doctor and get everything checked out. Well, she was diagnosed with lupus. So I, at that time, had started having some health problems as well, some autoimmune disorders. And threw myself into research to try to find out what to do to help my mom and what to do to help me. And everywhere I turned was a dead end. So fast forward about 16 years, my mother also developed Raynaud's, which is a disorder where the blood vessels constrict in the extremities when you get slightly cold, sometimes not really very cold at all. And her doctor said, oh, when you get older, sometimes you get gangrene and your digits fall off. And she thought, well, isn't that great? High blood pressure, asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis, quite a few other things. Unable to sleep, lots of pain, lots and lots of pain. I didn't realize how much until she didn't have any anymore. So this last year, she's been in bed almost every day of the last year. And from August to October, she could get from the bed to the couch on a good day. And she was seeing a doctor who was helping her. He found some viruses in her body that were creating the lupus symptoms, which is why she was diagnosed with lupus. He was helping her, but she wasn't doing well. So she came to visit me one afternoon, and as she laid on the bed, on my couch, she shook like she had Parkinson's. She brought some soup with her to eat because that's all her stomach could hold. And she shook the whole way to her mouth. She couldn't even get the soup to her mouth. And I was horrified. I didn't know what was happening. She looked like she was 102, not 70, and like she should be in a nursing home. I have a very small apartment, and she walked from the couch to the restroom and just tottered. Like she couldn't, her body just, she couldn't stay upright. I was horrified, and I looked at my dad, and he had a stone face on. I knew he had been seeing this for a while and was as concerned as I was. So when she left, I contacted the doctor. I said, she's dying, because she told me she was dying. She could feel the life draining out of her body. And my mom is a woman who doesn't complain, ever. And I knew if she was dying a quiet death, she would die that quiet death, and we'd never know, because she'd never say anything. So for her to admit that she could feel the life draining out of her and that she was dying, I knew she was. So I threw myself into researching everything that she was putting into her body, all of the side effects. And a few days before that, my business partner and niece and beautiful friend took the products to my mom and said, take these. And mom said, no, I'm old. It's not gonna do me any good. Just give it to somebody that it'll make a difference for. She said, you take it. You take it. And my mom said, okay, I'll take it. So a couple of days before she visited me is when she started taking the products. So I researched all of that, and I made sure that the company name was not in anything that I read, because I didn't want to know what some companies' scientists had to say about these products and these ingredients. I wanted to know truly what they were, and I was really impressed. And I thought, okay, maybe this will prolong her life long enough that we can find out what's going on. So fast forward a week. My dad had asked Katie and I to come over and help my mom pack. She was going to go see my brother and my two nephews. It's a 7-hour drive. I didn't know how she was going to make it. So when we showed up, the first thing I noticed is she was standing in the living room fully dressed and ready for the day. And I hadn't seen that more than a few times over the last year. I didn't say anything. I thought this is probably fleeting, but I'll enjoy it while it lasts. We went over all the ingredients in Kyani, all of the things that it could do. And she said that, she was up and that was good. Felt a little bit better that day. The next day was a Saturday. I texted her and said, how you doing, Mom? And she said, you'll never believe it. I'm at Walmart with the boys and we're trying on clothes and I'm by myself. I didn't know what to do. She couldn't have gone around the corner to Minyards to get a loaf of bread by herself. She hadn't driven in a year. She couldn't do it. So I just was paralyzed with, do I laugh? Do I jump up and down? Do I throw a party? Do I cry? What do I do? And I just was thankful. The next day, no, that night, my brother called. He said, hey, have you been on my Facebook page today? And I said, no, why? He said, go look. Mom's swimming with the boys. My mom was teaching my nephew how to swim. She was swimming laps. And again, I just didn't know what to do. And the next day again, she went to dinner. She played with the boys. She went swimming again. And I thought, how is this possible? How is this possible? And is it going to stop? And later my brother told me, it hasn't stopped, by the way. She's still running around and burning the candle at both ends in the best way. My brother called me later and he said, how's mom? And I said, she's great. And he said, I knew that she was coming to visit me and that was the last time I would ever see her. I was prepared for that. And I knew there was so much more life in my mom. She shouldn't have been dying like that, and now she's not. She's up and she has no pain.